Hey now.
Hey now.
And welcome back to the show where two childhood friends discuss their favourite childhood movies. I'm Emily Sandford.
And I'm Barney Lee. And whether it's iconic lines, musical moments, or just questionable outfit choices, the films we'll be talking about on our show are unique in their own way. And this week, we'll be discussing Toy Story.
Warning, this episode contains nostalgia and big love for Magic 8 Balls. Will this podcast be a success? Don't count on it! Oh!
We are in season 3. We're fine.
Okay, we're very fine.
Now, Toy Story is so groundbreaking for so many reasons. I mean, it was the first feature film from Disney Pixar. It kind of set the bar so high for 3D animation. And what I love about this film is, it came out in 1995, and yet today it is still so relevant for kids.
I don't know about you, but when you were younger, did you used to leave your room and just be like, okay, I'm leaving my room now. And then
peek
behind the door just to see if any of your toys came to life.
You know what? For one Christmas, my uncle bought me a Buzz Lightyear room guard that you could turn on when you leave the room. And it's kind of like Buzz Lightyear on a stand. And it's motion sensor. So if you have any, trespassers into your bedroom, it would shout, halt, who goes there? Sorry, who's coming in my room? My mum to put clean undies on my bed. Oh, we must stop her. That was crazy.
Toy Story is just, it's a fan favourite. It would be an absolute crime against animation if we did not discuss this today. It's a PG film. It was directed by John Lasseter, famous Disney director.
That's right. He directed A Bug's Life, Toy Story 2, and Cars as well. And the budget for the movie was $30 million, and the box office gross is $373 million. And I think what is so successful about the franchise is that you've got a whole range of merchandise ready to be released. A kid is going to watch Toy Story and be like, oh, okay, I want a Woody and a Buzz and a Slinky and an RC for Christmas or my birthday. And then Disney and Pixar are just laughing.
Mr. Potato Head, he's a funny guy. Can't wait to talk about him.
I love carbs. And I love Mr. Potato Head.
I'm glad I'm not a toy, though, after watching this film.
You know what? I was thinking about this. Once, a toy is thrown away, are you just going to be in a box, conscious that you've been thrown away? That's so sad.
You're either going to end up at the charity shop or on the top of the shelf. Just like Wheezy. I know he's in Toy Story 2, but he was going to be in Toy Story 1.
I heard that. Yes.
He's so cute. Shout out to the Wheezy kids.
Yeah.
Do kids play with toys nowadays? Or is it just all iPads?
Gadgets. I don't know. I really feel like we lived in a golden era of toys. I think the 80s is where it boomed, and then the 90s where we grew up was just literally gold tier of everything. And we should probably talk about that in Can We Discuss?
Oh, honey. There's a whole generation of kids who have missed out on the yo-yo craze. So all we could do was yo-yos and skip it. Think about it.
And you've got to wind it round for a million years, and then break time's over. You're oh, great.
Great. Mine was glow in the dark, and I was playing with it in the day.
Setting your alarm at 1 a.m. so you could be Right, let's talk about this iconic cast.
Yes, oh my gosh, Toy Story cast is so iconic. We've basically got Tim Allen playing Buzz Lightyear. We've got Tom Hanks playing Woody. Love that for him. And fun fact, one of the reasons why Tom Hanks wanted to be Woody in the first place was because when he was younger, he thought that his toys could be real.
Oh, that's cool. And he plays it so well. I also found out that obviously Tom Hanks voices Woody in the movies, but the voice of Woody in the action figures and maybe the video games aren't Tom Hanks. They're voiced by his brother, Jim Hanks, the lesser Hanks brother.
What does Jim Hanks do?
No idea. Well, I mean, this probably keeps him busy. Maybe he does the voices in the theme park as well and all the extra bits. I just also wanted to give a shout out to Tom Hanks's previous movies. You know, we love him in You've Got Mail, Castaway, Big, Forrest Gump, Saving Mr. Banks quite recently as well. I also love him in The Polar Express. And yeah, I think that'll always be my favorite Tom Hanks film, even if it's literally no one else's. Can somebody DM at Hey Now if you also love The Polar Express? I need to find my fellow expressers.
-1 reviews.
Oh.
We have Jim Varney, who plays Slinky. We've got Wallace Shawn, who plays Rex. Annie Potts, she plays Bo Peep. And then we've also got John Ratzenberger, who plays Ham. Now, Ham's obviously the piggy bank. And what I love about John Ratzenberger is that he's apparently Disney's good luck charm. So he's actually been in every single Disney animation you've ever watched.
Well, I mean, it's working, isn't it?
He's bringing in the money. Like, oh, literally.
Literally.
Slot it in my back.
We've also got Don Rickles, who plays Mr. Potato Head. He's got such an iconic voice. And the voice of Sid is Eric Von Detten, who you will know as playing Josh Bryan in The Princess Diaries.
No way.
The popular hunk you love to hate.
Yes. He was a bit of a dick in that film, and he's a bit of a dick in this one.
Yeah, and in real life, because we tried to interview him for series 1 and he said no.
No, his wife said no.
Oh, you're right.
Maybe she was just like threatened by Emily Sanford.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, there's no way I'm letting my husband take her on a yacht.
Emily Van Detten has a nice ring to it.
Yeah, it does. Anyway, I'm not a home wrecker. And I'm not after Eric Von Detten. So Buzz Lightyear actually almost went to Billy Crystal.
Yes, and he turned it down.
I know, which he has later said that was like one of his biggest life regrets.
Yeah.
But not that long after, he did get to be in Monsters, Inc. and he did get to play the love of my life, Mike Wazowski. So I think he was winning there, to be honest.
Moochie poo.
Googly bear.
Right, before we get into the episode, I just want to touch on the animation because obviously it was groundbreaking for its time. They did such a good job, but they've said at that time some of the 3D effects were too complex to generate. So what they did to get around certain plot points that they couldn't animate was to use kind of like subtle tricks. So what I found really funny, and I had to go back and watch it to actually spot it, when Sarge, you know, one of the army men, is looking through his binoculars to spy on Andy's birthday guests coming in, you'll notice that Andy's friends are actually the same character model as Andy. They've got Andy's exact same face, just with different skin tones or clothes and accessories to kind of disguise the fact, because they didn't have the money or the computer power to animate lots of different faces.
Oh my God.
So look closely, you will see like 6 different Andys walking in the house with presents.
They say sometimes you're attracted to your friends who are like you.
Yes.
He's just like, they all have my face.
Literally, or Andy's dad has been getting around.
Oh my God, that is definitely it. Andy's dad, that's why he's not in the picture.
He's been sleeping around Toyville.
Shall we reach for the sky and go on to Best Supporting Character? To Infinity. And Best Supporting Character.
Oh, that was rough.
I know.
But I appreciate the effort. So I think Toy Story has a lot of amazing supporting characters, and they're all amazing in their kind of unique ways. I think, well, the first one that I want to shout out is the jumping Pixar lamp.
Yes.
Look at him go! Although very violent towards the eye in Pixar. Like, what's that eye ever done to him?
I know that.
Yeah, a little bit creepy.
Yeah.
A little bit creepy. But that lamp is just amazing and iconic in its own right.
And there's loads of people online who dress up as the Pixar lamp for Halloween. Yes. So I wouldn't mind doing one day.
I know, but uncomfortable. Like jumping everywhere.
I know. And sometimes you see dogs come out of the vet and they look like the little Pixar lamp. And you're like, oh. Out the...
And it's like... If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Gramophone dog. Oh my gosh, there's so many cute like little characters in this film that aren't the main ones out of like the famous 6, I want to say.
Yeah.
One we really need to talk about is Lenny, the binoculars.
Yes!
He's so cute.
Little blue binoculars with big eyes and little orange wind-up feet.
Yeah,
right?
and I like that his name is a bit of a play on from the word lens.
Yeah.
So that's why he's called Lenny.
So cute. And he doesn't speak, but he sees everything.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of cute characters that don't speak, honestly, we see this character for maybe 2 seconds. There's a scene where Ham and Mr. Potato Head are talking. Mr. Potato Head has kind of put all his facial features on one side, and he's like, "Hey, Ham, I'm Picasso." And Ham's like, "I don't get it." And Mr. Potato Head goes, "You uncultured swine," and walks away, and then says, "What are you looking at, you hockey puck?" And it pans to this black hockey puck with tiny arms and legs he almost looks right at the camera and he puts his arms out like, what?
What?
He's so cute. So cute. I wonder if they ever sold toys of that.
Hopefully. I feel like Disney do not miss a trick on anything. Like, if you go to a Disneyland, like, even the bins look amazing. Yeah. So there's no way that they've forgotten to make a hockey puck.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of Mr. Potato Head, we got to give him some credit in this category. He is so funny. I love the bit where Andy's little, like, toddler sister has been obviously playing with him. And when they're finally allowed to talk, or, like, Andy's left the room and so is the baby.
Yeah.
He's like, ages 3 and up. It's on my box. Ages 3 and up. I'm not supposed to be babysitting Princess Drool.
Honestly, that baby is so terrifying. Like, literally, Drool, the, like, bright blonde curly hair. Honestly, Satan's baby.
Yeah, she's like,
yeah.
Like, just shakes up all the... Yeah, it's terrifying.
But no, Mr. Potato Head's great. And at the end of this film, I think it's Christmas, we hear that Molly has been given a Mrs. Potato Head.
Yeah, you've got, like, the sergeant going, Molly's first present is Mrs. Potato Head. Repeat, a Mrs. Potato Head. And then Ham's like, way to go, Idaho. And Mr. Potato Head's like, gee, I better shave. And then he pulls off his mustache. So good.
So good. And I feel like he only gets better in the sequel once Mrs. Potato Head's properly introduced.
Oh my God, 100%. Mrs. Potato Head's probably my favourite character in the whole Toy Story franchise.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit annoyed that she doesn't feature in the first film, because my favourite quote that is ever said in this film as well is, hey, you forgot to pack your angry eyes. So good.
So good.
Another small character we should definitely talk about is Etch.
Oh, the old Etcher sketch.
Yeah, love an Etcher sketch.
I can never get the hang of them, though.
No, there's like people out there who literally create like the Mona Lisa on an Etcher sketch. How?
Also, like, go outside.
But the reason I love Etch is, you know, he's got that like great little scene with Woody right at the beginning where Woody's like, hey, Etch, draw, which is like a cowboy term.
Yeah.
And then Etch like draws a picture of a gun. And Woody's like, oh, got me again. Etch, you've been working on that draw. Fastest knobs in the West. Etch, fastest knobs in the West.
Oh, give me a play date with Etch. We should also give a shout out to the space aliens. They are so innocent and naive.
They're claw.
They're like, a stranger from the outside. Oh, literally me coming out of lockdown. It's been too long, guys. But they're great. And I feel so bad for the space alien that gets given to Sid's dog. Yeah. And we never see again, which is a bit ominous. But there's like a million more of him where that came from.
Hopefully he's on a better planet now, snuggling up to Emperor Zurg.
He seems like a cuddler.
He does. It's the horns.
Right, now we have to give best supporting character to one person. Who are we thinking?
Oh my goodness. Well, it could be no one else but Mrs. Nesbit.
I I love Mrs. Nesbit.
Mrs. Nesbit is so iconic.
Buzz Lightyear invented drag, basically.
Yeah, and tea. Like
He invented afternoon tea.
And afternoon tea. You know, I'm surprised at the Ritz they don't do a Mrs. Nesbit afternoon, to be honest.
Oh my goodness.
Missing an absolute trick.
So you have to turn up in that blue bowler hat with a daisy and like a pink frilly apron as well.
Yeah, and then you sit next to Marie Antoinette's corpse.
Yeah. So if anyone doesn't remember this odd scene, Sid's sister has taken Buzz and is doing a kind of like afternoon tea with two of Hannah's dolls, one of which has a pterodactyl head and another doll doesn't have any head, right?
Yeah, but there's that amazing line. Buzz is like sipping on the tea and Woody's like, I think you've had enough tea for today. 1 minute you're defending the whole galaxy and suddenly you see yourself darjeeling with Marie Antoinette and her little sister.
And then Woody's like, let's get you out of here, Buzz. And Buzz is like, don't you get it? You see the hat? I am Mrs. Nesbit.
So good. Someone needs to go as Mrs. Nesbit for Halloween.
Truly. Gosh, all this talk about tea is making me thirsty. Should we have a little tea break before our next category?
Yeah, we got to save our batteries.
Hey Now has something very exciting to announce. We've released a gift card and gift wrap collaboration with the incredible British illustrator Zoe Spry.
Shut up!
Excuse me?
No, our Princess Diaries card with Mia. It says, it's your birthday? Shut up! I love this so much.
So if you stand some nostalgic gift cards and gift wrap and want to support the Zoe Spry and Hey Now collaboration, head to zoespry.com. You will not regret it.
I want this Meredith card for my birthday in October, please. Being young and beautiful is not a crime, you know.
Ugh, a bit vain.
That's also on the card. We designed these. How could you forget?
So next up is most iconic outfits, and it might be a bit of a short category because most of these toys are naked.
Truly.
Honestly, it's like a dog or a potato or a pig.
Or a dinosaur. Your choice. Like, honestly, this film should be an 18.
Now, obviously, we just mentioned Mrs. Nesbit, who invented pink frilly aprons. She looked amazing.
Yeah. Serving tea and looks.
And that's the tea.
Basically. So she definitely deserves a spot in most iconic outfit.
Yeah. I also think we should talk about Woody. Mm-hmm. Because his little like cow print waistcoat, his like yellow plaid shirt, his skinny jeans.
Yeah.
So ahead of the time.
I don't know what it is about guys in like check shirts. Like that kind of like plaid look.
Yeah.
A bit like cowboy. Yeah. I think most guys look attractive in that, you know? Very Ralph Lauren.
Yes, very. And it's funny if you actually think about Woody, what he would be like as, you know, a human. That shirt is like skin tight.
Oh.
And it's right up against his cuffs all the way to, like, in reality, maybe pick a bigger size, Woody.
No, honestly, yeah, he would need some new Levi's for sure.
Yeah. Good luck bending over. Not in that way. Oh, God. I think, controversially, we should also give a shout out to Sid.
Mm-hmm. We hate him, but iconic outfit.
Iconic. Everything from the kind of like black and white Converse high tops, his jeans with the roll-ups, his black t-shirt with the skull motif.
Yeah, very of its time.
Very. And you know what I loved? So you know that actor Will Poulter?
Yeah.
Who is in like We're the Millers and a million other things. He's the type of actor who pops up in films and it's like, how did you get cast in this? But also like,
You're good.
You're good. So congrats. Everyone says online that he looks just like Sid. Will obviously listened to this kind of like online commentary. So for Halloween a few years ago, Will dressed up as Sid.
Yes, I love it when celebs get a bit of abuse like that and then just like roll with the joke. You know what I mean? Because it's just like you're not taking it too seriously.
No.
It's like with Demi Lovato and
Oh my God.
and Poot Lovato. Sorry.
Long live Poot.
Another one of the toys who's, you know, she's got the looks. It's Bo Peep, obviously.
Yeah, with her massive, is it called a petticoat?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, she's a shepherdess, right? So she's got like her little bonnet.
Yeah, her staff, is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Like the stick with the loop.
Yeah, what's that for? Like
Herding sheep, right?
yeah, herding sheep, but is it looped to like grab them by the neck if they get out of
I
line?
think so.
Oh.
Which seems a bit intense, but...
I think she's been using that on Woody. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, how did he get that nickname?
Woody.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, little Bo Peep.
She's really, really cute.
Peep show. See you in the toy box.
Speaking of toy box, we should probably award most iconic outfit to the shark.
Howdy, howdy.
So he pops out after Woody's been kind of like demoted to living in the toy box after Buzz gets prime place on Andy's bed. Woody pops out saying, "Hey, where's my cowboy hat?" The shark pops out. I don't even think the shark has a name, but
Shark.
he's like, "I'm Woody. Howdy, howdy, howdy." And I never knew a shark could look that good in a cowboy hat.
Honestly, Jaws? Who? Yeah, that's definitely most iconic outfit.
Yeah.
For me, anyway.
Totally. Maybe Woody wears that hat and nothing else in the toy box when Bo Peep's around.
I would not be surprised.
Ew.
There's a snake in my vagina.
So next up is Best Musical Moment, and I found it really interesting that Disney were concerned Pixar didn't really want to make this a musical, because obviously Disney's known to have a load of songs kind of help move the plot along. Mm-hmm. But the director, John Lasseter, said like he didn't want the film to be a musical. It was a buddy film featuring toys. And, you know, the story is kind of about people not really admitting what they want, much less sing about that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this film is the first of its kind. So it's like, well, why make it like everything else?
Yeah, exactly. So they kind of met a compromise, Disney and Pixar. So the characters themselves wouldn't sing, but the film would use kind of songs that would play over the action. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that would help amplify the emotions between Woody and Buzz and the rest of the characters. So then they tapped Randy Newman to compose the soundtrack. Randy Newman, legend.
Famous Randy Newman.
Yeah.
Wow.
Randy does such an amazing job with this soundtrack.
He won an Oscar.
He did win an Oscar. The scene I love is the montage where Woody's kind of getting phased out over Buzz and Andy's room is slowly getting taken over with a load of like Buzz Lightyear merchandise.
Yeah, I preferred the Woody vibe, personally.
It was a classic, wasn't it? I definitely can relate to that scene because I have an affinity of getting like obsessed with certain things. I think when I was young, it was The Wizard of Oz. So I had a lot of classic Wizard of Oz posters around. And then it would kind of evolve and there was a whole... Well, I don't want to get into my embarrassing parts, but...
I will.
No!
There was Doctor Who. There was SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yeah. Okay.
There was a very niche one, Lily Allen.
Hey, I'm still in that phase.
I'm sorry. Trainers with dresses. Hate it.
Well, she told me she hates you. So. There was one time I went to a book signing and she, before I even gave her my name, she started writing B on the sheet. And I was like, oh, like in my head, I was like, oh my God, how does she know my name? And then she stopped. She's like, oh, sorry, what's your name? I was like, it's Barney. She was like, oh, that's lucky. And she wrote Barney. And then underneath that, she wrote best wishes, Lily. So all she was doing was starting to write best. I thought she was starting to write Barney. I was like, what? We haven't met. Apart from in my dreams. Anyway, so while that scene is playing, Randy sings a song called Strange Things.
Yes. Strange things are happening to me.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah. Without the remix, but yeah, it's such a good song.
So good. And it really, it shows Woody is, freaking out, isn't he? Mm-hmm. So that's a great one. We also have a really emotional song when Woody and Buzz are trying to escape Sid's house. Buzz, who is still, so sure that he can fly, climbs up onto the stair railing in an attempt to fly out the window to safety. But of course we know he can't fly, so he kind of plummets, and he even breaks one of his arms off.
Eek.
And the song that goes with that is I Will Go Sailing No More. Very sad.
They do go sailing again. Not really, metaphorically speaking.
Toy Story 5, maybe. Yeah.
There's a musical moment that is a little bit niche in this film, which I really appreciated. It's when they're finally moving and Buzz and Woody are on RC, driving after the car, and it's all hectic and they're obviously trying to get back to Andy, and then it kind of just cuts back to the car, and you just hear Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase. In the car. I love Hakuna Matata.
Such a great Easter egg, because that film came out, not long before Toy Story, so that was very much still in everyone's mind.
Yes.
So I love that. But we should probably award Best Musical Moment to the classic You've Got a Friend in Me.
Oh, darling, this would be our song down the aisle.
What aisle?
Down Sainsbury's. I mean, it would be the snack aisle. Don't get me wrong. Obviously. Yeah, you guys all know the one. You got a friend in me.
And that kind of becomes the Toy Story theme music. Randy Newman developed that signature song in one day.
What?
I know.
Randy?
And what I love is also that song, You've Got a Friend in Me, comes back at the end of the second film where Wheezy sings it.
Great. There's hope for asthmatics after all. Okay, so now we're going on to best quotes. We could start with, "There's a snake in my boots," but we want to go a bit nicher than that.
If someone told you to quote Toy Story, you might go with "To infinity and beyond," or "That wasn't flying, that was falling with style," or "Andy's coming." Which, side note, at the Disney park, when the characters would come out for the meet and greets, you used to be able to shout "Andy's coming," and they would fall to the ground.
Really?
But then it was too dangerous for the actors, so they had to stop.
It will be that Incredibles scenario again when her head falls off on the stage, ah!
Honestly, if you've never seen it, YouTube Mrs. Incredible face falling off, and my God,
hilarity
it's
ensues.
So good. There's also the classic "That claw," but they've been done to death, and I think we're both in agreement that upon rewatching this film, there's so many funny little bits of dialogue that completely go over your head when you're younger. So I think now's the time to spot a light on them.
Oh, definitely. So one of my favourite quotes in this film is when, obviously, we've got the sergeants and the other army troops, they've gone downstairs with the walkie-talkie to kind of tell them what gifts are being opened.
Yeah.
And Sergeant goes, It's bed sheets. And then Mr. Potato Head's who invited that kid?
We've all been through that. There's one disappointing birthday present. You're thank you.
Like a book.
Yes. Ugh. Great.
Now, I would love to get a new set of bed sheets.
Oh my God, that's when you know you're an adult.
Yeah, when you open it and it says The White Company and you're like...
That's so true. And I mean, Mr. Potato Head has a million amazing bits of dialogue. I love the one towards the end where he's playing Battleship with Pig. And it goes, "B3, miss, G6. Ah, you sunk it. Are you peeking? Oh, Quit your whining and pay up. No, not the ear. Give me the nose. Come on. And Mr. Potato Head has to hand over his nose to Pig, and he replies, how about 3 out of 5?
Oh, Mr. Potato Head. There's another really funny moment between Mr. Potato Head, Ham, and Buzz. So Ham's like, so where are you from? Singapore? Hong Kong? And then Buzz like, well, no, actually, I'm stationed up in the Gamma Quadrant of Sector 4. And then Mr. Potato Head goes, oh, really? I'm from Play School. And then Rex is like, and I'm from Mattel. Well, I'm not really from Mattel. I'm actually from a smaller company that was purchased in a leveraged buyout.
I love that they would have the knowledge of that.
Literally. Obviously, Buzz and Woody do not have a good relationship at the beginning because he's a jealous guy. And Buzz is like to him, I've set my laser from stun to kill. And Woody's like, oh, great. If anyone attacks, we can blink them to death.
And also when they're talking about the laser, Woody goes, it's not a laser, it's a little light bulb that blinks. And then Mr. Potato Head goes, what's wrong with him? And Ham replies, laser envy. And even at the beginning when Buzz first, appears in the room and he's talking to his little comms unit, he's like, and there seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere. And then Woody pops out, hello, right on cue. He's like, ah! And then does a little karate chop.
So good. Do you know it's Rex's kind of anxiety that's really sweet? Because he's kind of nervous. He's supposed to be the scary dinosaur. He thinks that maybe his roar is a bit annoying as opposed to scary.
Yeah.
Before Buzz gets there and they're all worried about what toy it could be, and Rex is like, what if Andy gets another dinosaur? A mean one. I just don't think I can take that kind of rejection.
Poor Rex.
So cute.
Oh, that is really sweet. Bless him. At the beginning of the film, Woody is chairing a meeting with all the other toys, and he has this line that literally it's kind of like blink and you miss it. He goes, Tuesday's plastic corrosion meeting was, I think, a big success. And we want to thank Mr. Spell for putting that in for us. Thank you, Mr. Spell. And a speak and spell.
Yeah.
Cuts to him and he goes, you're welcome.
Clever.
It's just so, I honestly, they didn't need to include it, but the fact that they did was just so funny. Right, well, we need to decide on the best quote of Toy Story. And I think it has to be something to do with Buzz and Woody's chemistry.
Yeah, we've decided on one. Do you want me to be Woody and you be Buzz?
Sure.
Okay. All right, that's enough. Look, we're all very impressed with Andy's new toy.
Toy?
T-O-Y, toy.
Excuse me, I think the word you're searching for is Space Ranger.
The word I'm searching for, I can't say because there's preschool toys present. Amazing.
So good.
That is a joke that would have gone straight over my head as a child.
Yeah.
But as an adult, appreciated it.
And as an adult bringing kids to watch that, you're like, oh, yes, I can actually sit through this film instead of fall asleep during it.
Uh-huh.
It's so good. I wonder what that word would have been if those preschool toys weren't present. Maybe it was...
Okay, so now we're going on to our favourite part of the podcast, which is Can We Discuss?
Obviously, there's so many toys in this film, and it got me thinking about the toys that we grew up with. I remember you having a Betty Spaghetti on your windowsill.
Yes! Oh my god, Betty Spaghetti was so fun.
Honestly, the outfit options, the hair, on it, spoiled for choice. I had a Game Boy Color, the epitome of childhood gaming. That was great. I think I had a Mario game. I think a Harry Potter one as well. Oh no, Pokemon. That was great. Pokemon cards. Remember we used to set up stalls down our road and sell or trade them.
Yeah, I wasn't really a Pokemon gal, but I remember there was a guy who lived down our street when we were growing up, and he was 4 years older than us, and you conned him out of £20 for 2 shinies.
What would I have spent that on? Solero shots.
Oh my God.
So good.
Solero shots.
So good. Bring those back.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Now, something I was always jealous that you had was a Tamagotchi.
You didn't have a Tamagotchi?
No, I didn't have one. I had like one of those Baby G watches.
Oh, yeah. And then there was a little like animation in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd probably have to like borrow your Tamagotchi or something.
Yeah. Well, I remember when my sister's Tamagotchi died, instead of just pressing reset, she buried it in our garden. Like a full-on like funeral. Like, Polly, that's cost money.
That is hilarious.
And she never replaced it. I guess just the sadness was too much. She could never go back.
She physically buried it in the garden.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Polly, we're going to talk about this. Side note from the podcast.
But you had your own digital pet.
Oh, I did. And that was in the name of Texter.
Which was like a kind of mini silver yappy dog.
Oh, I remember the Christmas I got it and I was so delighted.
Yeah.
I got this Texter and it was so cute and we had it for so long. It's like my absolute favourite toy.
And if you got it, you could prove that you could look after a real dog.
Yeah. But I never got a real dog.
Oh.
And then obviously we had Furbies.
Terrifying, but great. I remember when it would talk, I'd put my finger in its mouth as it moved, like, ow! But it was funny.
I know, and it would laugh if you, like, tickled its belly.
Yeah.
And it was like, and if you wanted it to be quiet, you had to, like, wrap it in a towel and put it in the cupboard.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Mine was, like, a kind of gold with, like, darker spots.
Cute.
And I got it in America.
Ooh.
I know. There was, like, a big toy shop called FAO Schwartz.
Ooh.
And they had a huge Furby, like, wall.
Wow.
And I picked my one out, which was incredible.
Wow. My Furby was... It was like a green and black, kind of like spotted, almost like leopard print. And I was actually so happy with that colour because I felt like everyone I knew had the grey one, which I kind of wanted. But then when I got this one, I was like, okay.
So chic.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that.
Another toy I was so obsessed with was sky dancers. Kind of like, you know, you'd like pull the toggle and they'd shoot in the air and just like spin and fly. Oh my God, I used to love that so much.
Have you seen that video of that girl demonstrating it and it flies straight into her fireplace and burns? It's so good. It was amazing.
That's so sad.
Dangerous to do inside, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like it kind of quickly turns into an all-out air warfare, and you can break your mum's vase or hit someone. Like those were heavy.
Yeah, you've got to be careful where you play with that.
Yeah.
You can't do it in the garden, otherwise it ends up in the neighbours, and you're like, oh.
Yeah. Can I get my fairy out? Remember Bop It as well?
Yes. Do it again, but better. Tell me what to do.
Twist it. Flip it. Boing.
Pull it.
I was also blessed with a complete collection of the Spice Girl dolls. They were great until I pulled off Emma's head and threw it in our drain.
Oh, yeah. When I worked with her in later life, I never brought up that story.
I mean, I wouldn't. It's a bit voodoo dolly,
Yeah.
isn't it? Who could forget Beanie Babies?
Ugh.
Honestly,
Yes.
how did you exist in the 90s without them?
I used to love my Beanie Babies.
They were so great. And we were convinced that, you know, you'd collect them and become a millionaire.
How's that doing? Where are our Beanie Babies?
Do you remember your first?
Oh my God. It was a cat. It was like a little brown cat, but I've forgotten the name. I wish I remembered it.
I had a tiger called Rory or something like that, like typical. And that was great. I also had the Princess Di bear, which is like purple, which had a little like white rose on its like chest. It was very cute.
Oh my God, I love Beanie Babies.
Yeah. Right, speaking of toys, I think we should talk about the really, really creepy kind of mashups that Sid has created in his room. They're harmless and they actually help Woody and Buzz escape. But they're really creepy. Obviously, who can forget the like spider baby?
Oh.
Had all its hair cut off and one of its eyes is missing. And it's all like kind of like mechanical legs.
Yeah.
You've got the character legs, which is like half Barbie legs. And the top is like this kind of crane with a hook on the end.
Oh.
And like, is that a joke? Is she supposed to be like a hooker? Because she's got a hook.
It may be.
Maybe.
That's funny.
I don't know. You've also got that Frankenstein hand Jack-in-a-Box.
Yes.
Which is like crawling itself over. And
There's like a pterodactyl doll.
pterodactyl doll that was once Sid's sisters, wasn't it?
And you know what? I'm really pleased that Woody managed to get his revenge in the end. You know, when he's lying on the barbecue and he's like, so play nice.
Yes. Right, let's talk about the Toy Story ultimate power couple in Woody and Bo Peep.
So cute.
So cute. Although originally it wasn't going to be Bo Peep. The writers wanted to feature a Barbie doll to be Woody's love interest. But at the time, Mattel said, no, you couldn't use Barbie because first they thought the film was going to be a failure. Good one. And also they didn't want Barbie to have like a defined personality. They kind of want to let the kid imagine what she sounds like, what she says, all that kind of stuff, which does make sense.
Yeah.
But obviously after the success of the first film, they were like, oh, okay, no, you can use Barbie. And she was in the subsequent films.
Right. Barbie and Ken, I used to love. I used to always steal my brother's like action men.
Yeah. Or if you wanted a Ken but only had Barbies, just cut the hair of one of them. Like, I don't think that's quite right, but okay. Nice try.
I love that scene between Woody and Bo Peep. It's kind of like right at the beginning of the film, to be honest, where she's like, what would you say if I get someone else to watch the sheep for me tonight?
What is she implying? What are they going to do? Well, in an earlier version of the script, Woody had a line that said, at times like this, I wish I was anatomically correct.
Woody!
Let's talk about how amazing Pizza Planet is. It looks like the best destination to have like a birthday party or just like spend a weekend there. Like it had everything.
It looks a bit like overpriced to me, but I get what you mean. It's kind of got like Laser Quest vibes.
It had everything. It had those like guards at the automatic doors. It had like really cool arcade games. It had those like slushy machines that was like an alien throwing up into your cup. And obviously, who can say no to pizza?
Absolutely live for that. And I live for slushy machines and anything. I used to love going bowling and get a slush puppy.
Yes. Except you have all the like syrup in the first like few sips and then you're just left with a cup of ice.
Like, oh.
Yeah, no, I should have mixed it.
This would have never happened at Pizza Planet.
Okay, here we are, trivia round. Are you ready for your first question?
Oh, I am so ready. A battle between me and my favourite deputy.
Right, I'm cowboy. Okay, here we go. Question 1. What was the name that Andy gave Mr. Potato Head when he was playing like cops and robbers?
One-Eyed Bart?
Yeah, that's right.
You did it!
Because obviously he's missing one of his eyes. And what I loved was that after that, he then says, "Don't!" So I think it's like a Simpsons reference.
Of course.
Yeah, because it was huge in 1995.
Amazing. Okay, so my first question is actually on that scene as well. How much was the reward for Mr. Potato Head?
Was it, I think it was like $50 bazillion?
Yes!
You did it!
Which is, I mean...
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
He's clearly a Jersey Royal potato.
He could buy many a Mrs. Potato Head with that.
Yeah.
Like 100 wives.
Potato pimp. Okay.
So when it's Andy's birthday, can you name 3 gifts that he's given on the day?
Okay, so he's given bed sheets,
Yeah.
battleships, the last one that he got.
Yeah.
And obviously he got Buzz Lightyear.
Yes.
You did it!
I would have also accepted a lunchbox.
That's a nice gift.
I love a lunchbox.
The toys were not impressed with that though.
No.
So when the toys have a meeting at the start of the film, Woody's standing there and he's hosting a meeting to all the toys.
Yeah.
On the shelves behind him, there are 2 board games. Can you tell me what those board games are?
Was one of them Twister?
No.
Oh, one of them was Candyland, right?
No.
Oh.
Mayday! Mayday!
Operation
Oh.
and Mousetrap.
Oh.
2 very good games.
Yeah, although Mousetrap, you're like, oh, come on, I just want to do the whole like, oh, the marble makes the basket fall down. Like,
I know, goes down the little ramp and then hits the seesaw, makes the cage go down.
So good. Okay, where does the TV advert say you can buy Buzz Lightyear toys?
Owl's Barnyard.
You did it!
Yeah, I'll give you that. It's Owl's Toy Bar.
Oh, Owl's Barnyard. Owl's Toy Barn.
All Owl's Toy Barns in the Tri-County area.
Oh, Oh, nice. Okay, so obviously the sergeant and the other army toys, they're using like a walkie-talkie device to talk to the other toys.
Yeah.
Which I'm assuming it's like almost like a baby monitor, but it might just be the walkie-talkie. Can you tell me what brand it was?
I'm going to take a guess. Was it Fisher-Price?
So close. And it's actually Play School.
Mayday, mayday.
Oh.
Like SKOOL.
Yeah. Okay, I need to rewatch this. Oh no, another rewatch for me.
Yeah.
Okay, here's one which, honestly, it should have been in best quotes. When Woody and Buzz are trapped in Sid's room, Sid goes to sleep and he sleep talks. Can you remember what Sid says in his sleep?
He says, I want to ride the pony.
You did it.
Not a very Sid thing to say, if I'm
Not a
honest.
Sid. Also, side note, who is sleeping in their shoes? Take them off! So gross and like uncomfortable.
I'm glad Eric Von Detten wasn't on our podcast now. Shoe sleeper. Okay, my question to you. There's a moment in the film where Woody gets pushed off the bed and all the toys are like, has Woody been pushed off the bed?
Yeah.
What was Woody's excuse for Andy pushing him off the bed?
Oh, wow. I remember the scene, but the reason... Oh, it was because Andy was just too excited from the party.
You did it.
So yes, he had too much cake and ice cream.
That's it. And never too much cake and ice cream.
No,
Excuse me.
serve me a big slice of that caterpillar cake any day.
Oh my gosh. You know, you can buy huge ones for parties that like serve 40. I'm thinking, hey now, celebration cake.
Side note, we really want to do like in-person Hey Now event. So
All
we'll
right.
get one of those big cakes for everyone.
Yeah, we'll save it. So my final question to you, what is the name of Sid's dog?
Spud.
You're so close.
Stud?
Honey, he wishes. That animation was janky. They really need to spend more time with that.
Spike? Oh no.
No.
Scud?
Yes!
You did it.
Yes! Which I'm sorry, is the cruelest name for a dog. Like, what happened to Rover?
It probably was called Rover and then Sid just changed it because he's an annoying child.
Yeah, he needs to be medicated.
So my last question to you. In the scene where Woody wants the other toys to rescue them from the window,
Yeah.
he throws over some fairy lights.
Yes.
And the other toys catch it. Everyone wants to help him, apart from Mr. Potato Head.
Mm-hmm.
Why does Mr. Potato Head think the others want to save him?
Oh gosh, like, I have no idea.
Mayday, mayday.
He says, did you all take those stupid pills this morning? Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in this world who take stupid pills.
If you believe that it really was Buzz up there when really it was just Woody waving that one arm, maybe they did take stupid pills. Like, come on, it's so obvious. Well, that about wraps things up. And if you loved this episode, please feel free to write us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. And honestly, we would love you more than the space aliens love the claw. The claw!
Yes, and make sure you're following us on Instagram at Hey Now if you like kind of like nostalgia photos, you want to keep up with the podcast, you want to hear about new seasons, etc., etc.
And of course, our collection of greetings cards and wrapping paper with Zoe Spry, who is this amazing designer. We have collaborated on a collection that celebrates all things movie nostalgia. So we've picked our favorite scenes from some of the previous episodes we've recorded. So be sure to check them out on zoespry.com.
That's ZOESPRY.com. It's worldwide shipping. Don't worry. It's not just for people in the UK. Anyone can buy these. So we've got like 7 cards, 3 gift wraps. They're so cool. Yeah, gift them to all your friends.
Yeah, and tag us in the pictures. We'd love to see it.
Yeah.
We love to see it.
We love to see it.
So that about wraps things up. Should we get some food?
To the snack cupboard and beyond.
Looking for a new podcast? Here's a Black creator to listen to this month and beyond, courtesy of Acast Recommends.
Hey, what's up? I'm Sean T, and I wanted to tell you that my podcast, Trust and Believe, is all about uplifting you to the next level of who you are. Whether it's a solo show with me telling you about things that are happening in my life and how to get through them, or if it's with one of my amazing guests. At the end of every show, you will learn the tools that you need to push through just to get through another day or maybe another month. It doesn't matter what you're going through. You can always come to my show to feel great about yourself, to always believe in yourself. And at the end of the day, know that you are your power. So join us on the show and get ready to trust and believe.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.